Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bullits and Bourbon, episode 27. Today we are just extremely lucky. We packed up the equipment, jumped in the truck. Thank you, Dan, for making that horrible noise.
We're live.
Yeah, we're live. All right, and we had the incredible opportunity to come out to Somerset, PA, and meet with Maximilian Merrill, who is the owner and founder of Ponfeigh Distillery here in the beautiful, this is the Highlands, right? The area? This is the Highlands?
Laurel Highlands,
Laurel Highlands, which is just, it's always stunning up here in I don't know if it's central PA, but what an amazing...
Southwestern.
Yeah,
I'll make some bad noise too.
Yeah, that's all right. up in the beautiful mountains and hills. And really, really cool because I have had this whiskey, and I love this whiskey, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let the pro talk about it and introduce the brand to the world. But I will preface this: if you see this and you don't buy it, something's wrong with you. I'm just gonna say it now. So
we did hit that sample not too long ago where we did do a short review on it,
and we killed half the bottle.
And I'm kind of mad now after having the barrel proof that you only got the 90 proof.
Well, I didn't see you come off the wallet.
Well, wait till you try this Founder Select.
Okay.
So what we tried a couple weeks back was the 90 proof, right? And we loved it. You know, we dove into it, killed half the bottle, and I purposely did not get the bottle with, I think this has the felt on it, right? Because I wanted to wait. I knew we were going to come up here, and I'm like, well, we'll wait. I probably won't drink anything but that now. It's that good. Well, except for the couple other things that you were showing us. So
yes, we have some new things coming out.
Yeah. Without further ado, tell us about it, all about it, please. Man.
Well, no, I appreciate you guys coming in, and I appreciate you making the trip to Somerset County. As you know, Somerset County is one of the birthplaces of rye whiskey. You know, before Prohibition, we had 14 distilleries in Somerset County, making more whiskey than Kentucky and Tennessee even thought about it at that point. And, you know, there were many reasons why Pennsylvania, including Somerset County, is, you know, one of the forefronts and the birthplace. Cheers of rye whiskey, and that's because you're right.
That's good. That's not supposed to happen in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
sorry.
That was good. That reaction. Can you reel that for me?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely reel it for you.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what our friend Fred Minnick said.
Yeah.
When he took his first sip, that I sent him this bottle, he went, "Explanate, you know, swear word. Oh my God, best rye I've had in 3 or 4 years." So
chewy and good.
Yeah. We're getting on tangents. Sorry, I shouldn't have poured this right away.
Anyways, go ahead.
But
I digress.
you know, the only thing our colonial ancestors could only grow here was rye.
Right.
You know, our soils are thin, our soils are acidic, and you know that's all they could grow. So those colonial farmers grew into a major industry that we had 14 major distilleries known throughout the entire world as one of the major producers of Monongahela rye. And this sweetness that you taste in this rye is very unique, isn't it? It's not that spicy forward, you know, heavy
earth tones,
earth tones, baking spice. It's there, but it's secondary. You get a maple finish on the front, and then it rolls on the roof of your palate, and eventually goes into the back of your throat. And it's just a beautiful rye. And this is you know, what we made with Southern Distilling. You know, we drove 5 tractor trailer loads of rye down there from Somerset County, and my mentor Pete Barger, you know, taught me how to run a column still, which we were under construction at the same time, and we laid down together these 200 barrels.
That's crazy.
They just came out so well. I mean, it's just the terroir in our rye is, I believe, second to none. Sort of like, you know, the best grapes come from arid regions.
Right.
We believe that our terroir is one of the major reasons why this is so sweet. They're stressed out. You know, they're making a very sweet fruit, if you will. and it makes the grain so powerful. And also due to our cool fermentation in our column still, we can make a very clean distillate. So then those barrels from the Great Barrel West Virginia Company, with those, those toasting and char in there, finishes it so well as well. So they're one of our great partners as well.
This shines. I think one of the things that you brought up, where a lot of people will go, well, how did you start? Did you source, or what did you do? And when we were discussing it pre-production, it's pretty interesting because you did something that not a lot of people are going to do.
Right.
And it's not efficient, probably not very cost effective.
It was not cost effective at all.
And people get hung up on, well, did they source MGP distillate?
Right.
And, for people that aren't familiar with whiskey, MGP is multi-grain products, right? That's what they call it. Mm-hmm. And it's basically just a big warehouse in Indiana that just distills for you and stores it. And not to say there's not great whiskey that comes out of there, but there is always something more genuine about somebody who lays a mash bill down and does it from the ground up. There's a level of authenticity that I often think kind of carries forward in the flavor of the whiskey. It's mine factor,
mm-hmm.
And when you were explaining this process, I thought to myself, geez, to drive down tractor trailers full of your
or a local
products,
rye,
of your local rye, was a commitment to say, okay, starting right now, and this is an investment, we're going with what we have, and this is it. And then we'll transfer it up here, and we'll do it all here. Mm-hmm. As you build this amazing facility, it's beautiful, and we'll have pictures up to show that. What was that like? I mean, having to start down there and get that kind of that mentoring on doing this, process. Were you apprehensive and nervous?
No. I mean, I've studied, I've been a student of this industry for over 20 years, and what you talk about, the MGP sort of tarnishing other brands, if you will. It's a great juice, right? But then, if you're using that as a Pennsylvania distiller or a craft distiller out of Michigan or something like that, people sort of frown upon that. So learning through my years of research, I wanted to do something different, but I also knew we had to have an aged spirit to open with. So what can I do differently? And I met Pete at one of the conferences, I believe it was Discus, and said, this is what I want to do. This is, I want to lay down these barrels right when we start construction. And actually our construction was supposed to take 1.5 years, and it took 3 years. So that's why it's already so good. I mean, I didn't think
ready to drink.
I didn't think we would be ready to bottle it right away. I just thought we would get a jump start.
Right.
And being able to bottle it right away and get the accolades we have, and we got a double platinum for this single barrel.
It's good juice.
It's
so
amazing.
I mean, it's great. I mean,
it's for sale back there.
It'll get bought. I guarantee you that'll be coming home.
But working with Pete was amazing, and I mean, that's what I love about this industry. Every master distiller, every founder that I have reached out to, whether Russell from Wild Turkey or Bill from Maker's Mark or Pete with Southern Distilling, they have never not helped.
That's I
mean, Corky from Peerless sat me at his desk for an hour, and it's like, what do you want to know? I mean, what other industry does that besides these great gentlemen?
And I think that's the one thing that really attracts me to especially a lot of the owners and distillers, because they'll tell you, yes, we have a great product, but also make sure you check out X, Y, and Z. They also do like a great rye or small batch or whatever.
That's how you found out about that.
And that's exactly how we found out from you, from our friends from Liberty Pool. It's like, hey, make sure to check out Ponfeigh. They're coming out with a great product, and Jason ordered a bottle, and I was highly impressed for such a young aged whiskey. How good it was.
And then, it's phenomenal.
And now after having the barrel strength back there, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think what I was impressed, the first time that I went to the Bourbon Trail, I'm a nerd when it comes to this, and I'd ask questions. And at no point did I encounter anybody that wasn't anything but genuine and loving toward the other brands. Now, it may be their competition, but if you go into most guys' liquors cabinets who are serious about whiskey, they don't have just one brand.
No.
They've got a lot.
Yeah.
And they like to talk about it.
Yeah.
And what I see is that kind of amplifies itself onto the relationships between the distillers and the, they may be competition technically, but not really, because I'm going to carry. I mean, I've got a couple bottles, downstairs that I like to drink them all.
Right.
I'm not going to discriminate. It's a,
Yeah. So with that said, I got a question for you. You said we talked a little bit before the podcast, and you said you had this in your mind for about 15 to 20 years that you were going to do a distillery.
Yeah.
A lot of guys dream about doing something like, oh, one day I want to open up a distillery.
Yeah.
But, take us kind of through your thought, I don't want to say thought process, but what really inspired you? Like, which bourbon's whiskey was like, I think I can come up with a product that may be able to compete, or they make a good product, I think I can make something a little bit better.
And your journey to it, because tell us what you did beforehand, which is interesting, because that's a heck of a ride.
Those are two different
questions.
Questions.
Pulling you left and right.
No, but I can weave them together.
Let's do it.
Growing up in the Ponfeigh cabin and, learning about the whiskey culture. My family grew up there drinking spirits out of the public eye, and I learned about rye whiskey there. Right. And then traveling to all these different distilleries and starting my research as a young man and learning about, I met Alex Chasko from Teeling in Ireland, and he taught me about secondary barreling and stuff. And he would, again, another great gentleman that took me in the back, and I would try 35-year-old Irish whiskey. I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And you get these little sparks in your brain, from time to time, and and then you're learning about the culture. And then, but what everybody said to me at all of these different touch points is, wait, where are you from? You're from the birthplace of American spirits, right? Like, you should open up a distillery there. And then actually Bill from Maker's Mark once said, well, but you need like 10 or 12 of them to start your own trail as well. I'm like, let's start with one, sir.
But that's ambitious.
But so again, I was a lawyer lobbyist, like you mentioned, and I was working in D.C. for many years, and I had finished my business plan 13 years ago. It's running on 14, 15 now. And, I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And different points of my life, the good Lord said, you should open up a distillery. I'm like, why? What are you talking about? And eventually I'm a very spiritual man. So, I prayed about it, and, I had some things happen in the halls of Congress that I didn't care for. And I've been working on a bill for 3 years of my life that didn't even get taken up, or the amendments during one of the farm bills. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not, I want to do something with my life. And at that point, I decided that I'm going all in. And, when you're an entrepreneur, and, I've listened to all those different mentor TED Talks and all those, videos, and listen to Elon Musk and all those crazy guys that, you just have to burn the boats and go all in. And that's what I did. I sold everything in DC. I moved back to the family farm, polished up my business plan and took it to a bunch of banks. And unfortunately, then COVID hit, and I lost a couple banks. But then eventually I met with the folks at the First Commonwealth, and they said, literally told me this is the best business plan I've ever read. And I said, well, good, because it's been in my head for 25 years. And he's like, I can tell you've done your homework. And I said, sir, you don't understand how much homework. I've been to like 4 different countries. I've been studying this. I understand the marketing, the startup, the cost, the mechanics, everything, entry to market. What is it going to take? How long is it going to take? And like we said, when you meet all these mentors, and they help you every way along the way, and I can still call them. They're all on my cell phone. I can call them. And
such a great network.
It's insane. It's insane, and they're so nice. I mean, I just got goosebumps thinking about it because it's such a warm
and they
community.
Want to see you succeed.
100%, because they know it all started here.
Yeah,
and growth here means growth down the road for another distillery. And it means growth in Kentucky, because it keeps the interest level growing.
Correct.
Well, I think too. Would you, when we came up with the concept for the podcast, and you really wanted to hit the craft distilleries harder than the mainstream, And that's the thing. You get somebody into, and I think that's like some of the not bigger names like Buffalo Trace, but like some of the smaller names that we do reviews on. That's the thing. You start opening up these distilleries and like, well, this is a small distillery. This is good juice.
Yeah.
This might be better than some of the main stuff you see at the liquor stores. And now people are more willing and more accepting to go in and try and, these smaller distilleries that aren't nationally or world known and got those multi-million-dollar, marketing pockets to market their product.
It's easy to go in and grab a bottle of Knob Creek, right? It's good juice. It's good juice.
Yeah.
It's you know what you're getting. Mm-hmm. You know what you're getting because they have a production capability and they've been around a while and they have great marketing, ad campaigns, and a catchy name.
And they're at every steak restaurant you've ever been to.
Every steak, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more risky for people to go in and grab a bottle of a brand that they've never heard of until they hear about it or until people are like. But if we would relate this to how we treat the beer industry, craft beers are the rage. But we have yet to connect the dots that craft beer and craft whiskey are very much the same when it comes to the creativity that goes into making them and the product that comes out. If you love a craft beer, chances are you're going to love a craft whiskey, because there's a closer connection between distilling and what is going on here and the shelf than there is the huge farms. Nothing against the huge farms. I love them. They're cool. And there's a lot of history. But there's not the same connected tissue.
Right.
If you will.
Yeah, and remember, where craft distilling is now is where craft brewery was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Craft brewing, don't quote me on this, but what is it right now? 20% market share or something like that?
Might be a little bit more now, actually.
25%.
Yeah.
Craft distilling is still under 2% market share. So the sky's the limit.
Right.
And and you read the tabloids and you read the papers and the market analysis and they're predicting 13 to 18, right? So we are as Ponfeigh, and all your friends at Liberty Pole and all of the craft distillers in the country love them. Just hang on because we're ramping up. We're going, and everybody knows this. So the sky's the limit right now. So this is a beautiful time to be a part of one, to invest in one, and to support one.
Yeah. So with that said, for our listeners who really want to support and get a bottle of some of the good juice that you're producing, where can they go to find it if they're not from Pennsylvania?
Online, our website. We can ship to over 40 states right now.
Okay.
We've partnered with a great marketing company called Big Thirst, and it's an online platform. And we do. They're a great and they ship everything. We take them, pallets of good juice, and they ship it all over the country for us.
Nice.
And we'll make sure we list that as along. It'll be on the website. Just follow us, like us, do whatever you do with the buttons on the computer. We'll have the info to the store. We can post that,
it'll be
to
in the
website, and also where you can get it. And it's in the state stores too now, which is awesome. Finally, we're getting some more.
We got there.
We're in the PA state stores.
Yeah, and our 90 proof will be there in couple months as well.
So what about that barrel strength?
The barrel strength is there now.
Okay, the barrel strength is there now. That's great.
Our Founder Select, this special barrel, is not there, but all our barrels are delicious.
So the Founders, they need to come out to Somerset if they want to get some of this really good stuff.
It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good. But this is one. So barrels are like children. You have children, okay? So do all your children mature at the same rate?
No, none of them matured at all.
Exactly. I still haven't matured, but so some of our barrels, they're all 3.5 years old, but some of our barrels taste like they're 2 years old. Mm. And every now and then we get a barrel that tastes like it's 5 or 6 years old. And this is delicious. And I haven't found many of these.
Yeah.
That's why I call it the Founder Select, because there's, we can look over there's 380 barrels. I can't try all of them.
Yeah. I see some of the barrels.
That could be a good day, though.
It is a good day.
I'm
my production manager, Brendan over there, is laughing at me because he's seen me try.
Yeah.
I tried 15 once doing a barrel selection, and he's like, you need to go to dinner.
Now. Here's some Cheez-Its. Well, I see some of the barrels up there, and they're bleeding quite nicely. Mm-hmm. And if I was left to wander, with a diaper on.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that one right there on the top.
That's a bloody one right there.
That's the one you're looking at.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite barrels, too.
Yeah. The bleeding barrel. So a bleeding barrel, you want to explain what a bleeding barrel is? I don't know if a lot of people understand that.
You go right ahead.
You do it. You're the pro.
It's just the barrel that's leaking, and because it's leaking, you lose more in that barrel, more than the Angel's share, but also all of that juice, that less amount of juice in there is getting more barrel contact. So therefore, it's getting deeper, richer tones than the full 53 gallons.
Yeah.
And also more oxidation. Thank you, Brendan.
Yeah.
And it just it tastes like it ages it quicker. But it's really, all of that oakiness and oxidation is happening so much faster, and it's like it catapults it like a half a year to a year.
It does. It really does. There are barrels that I've come across in rick houses where I see it, and looking at the barrel, it's a short barrel.
Mm-hmm. No, they're all short.
It's been bleeding so much.
Yeah.
But I would do anything to just put it on my back and run away with it. Because it's going to be so dark and so rich.
All 380 pounds of it.
I mean, it would be a very, very short run.
Yeah.
Like right to the emergency room.
If it's like 3/4 half full.
Yeah. So it's amazing. I mean, we talked about the space a little bit, and your construction took 3 years. I mean, this is, we'll have the pictures up. A beautiful, huge meeting house area.
Yeah, this tasting room turned out quite well.
Bar wrap around with a beautiful, that's granite, I'm guessing, right? Or
it looks like granite, doesn't it?
Cement?
That's cement.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's cement with poured epoxy on it. It looks like granite. You're not wrong. It does look
gorgeous.
When they poured it, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, and the ability to open this up, and one of the great things about this region of PA is that you get really nice, cool summers, or coolish.
That's why those garage doors are there. We open it up. It's in a great outdoor space, and you could hear. We're still a working distillery. You can hear my silly dogs fighting in the background.
Distillery dogs. No, they are. We love distillery dogs. So if you look behind us, you actually see the stills.
Yeah. Well, those are the fermenters.
The fermenters, rather. And
the still's off to the right.
Still is you probably can't see it, but it's beautiful, and it's enormous, and it goes up really high. It's a column still.
30 foot.
30, almost 35 feet, and 15-inch, largest in the state. Currently, we are the largest.
That's what they usually call me.
We'll call your wife. We'll call your wife. We'll call your wife.
Don't edit that.
Yeah. But we're currently the largest distillery in Pennsylvania, which we're quite proud of, and it came sort of organically. We didn't realize we were doing that, but at full capacity we could produce 3,500 barrels a year.
It's amazing.
This year we'll only produce 500 barrels. Next year we'll do 1,000, and then we'll ramp up from there.
So what drives that? What drives that determination? At a pure curiosity from the marketing standpoint, right? That's what. How do you gauge that supply demand, or is this just a?
So looking at all the craft distillery data out there, we have a model that we're following to make sure that we have enough juice for our future. If that makes any sense. Yeah. So we're hitting Pennsylvania hard. We're going out there to the bars and restaurants. We have partnered with PA Libations. They have a sales team as well, and we have a sales team. So we're hitting Pennsylvania hard because that's where our heart is. That's where people are going to gravitate to us. And then we'll eventually get into Maryland, Ohio, New York, Connecticut. And then from there, we have to have enough juice after we do regionally to go all 50 at once.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't go all 50 states at once with not enough juice. You have to have enough juice behind you, and you can't attract. Again, I've been studying this forever, for 25 years. So if we don't have 10,000 barrels behind us, we can't go to all 50 states.
Yeah,
so
you can't meet that demand.
What are the big distributors called? I forget their names.
Brown-Forman, Barton, Sarzak.
No, not distributors. Not distributors. I forget what they're called. Anyway, the beverage distributors. It starts with a B. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Now I'm brain.
But you can't even approach their offices if you don't have enough product behind you. So our model, our investors, we have 38 investors that are all local supporting this project, but they all trust me in this model that this is how we're going to grow, and this is why we're going to grow, and this is how we're going to get into those 50 regions. So, We have 500 barrels that we're going to make this year. Next year we'll make 1,000 because we need that in 3 years.
Right.
Next year we'll make 2,500 because we need that in 4 years.
4 years.
And then when we want to grow to all 50 states and overseas markets, obviously we have to have more. So we'll ramp that up 4 years ahead of that time to 3,500 barrels.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think instantly of that adage that we do in the shooting world, the gunfighter world, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Right?
Yeah.
If you rush it, you oftentimes
You misstep and
shoot yourself in the foot.
Yep.
You'll be out of product ahead of, and then I wonder if other distilleries who've run into trouble with this, they start to compromise their quality.
Yeah.
Or age.
Well, for a craft distiller, I wouldn't say that they compromise. I think the problem is that they run out.
Right.
You don't ever want to run out. Mm-hmm. You don't ever, it's pretty good. You don't ever want someone to go to the store, oh, I'm sorry, we're out of Johnny Jack's Applejack.
Yeah.
No, you should never be out.
Yeah.
You should always be in the store.
Unless you're Buffalo Trace.
Well,
but that's completely different.
That's the secondary market
that they're making.
That's a whole different.
They're not seeing that money.
Listen, this is why I signed some of these bottles, because if I get hit by a truck, it might be worth like Pappy Van Winkle stuff.
Well, I have a question. You kind of talked about, you got a beautiful tasting room.
Thank you.
I love hope you. I know you can see it on the video. The beautiful sign up above Jason.
Yes.
Yep.
And I love the fact that it's all Ponfeigh on the shelf for the tasting room.
Yeah.
So what type of cocktails are you guys making?
Ooh, yeah.
Because that's usually...
Because it involves cock.
Oh, God. Every time. Just one episode. Just one episode. That's all I want. I like chicken cock, whiskey.
Yeah,
so he constantly gives me crap about it. But... no, I kind of got a glimpse of the cocktail list in the other room when you were thieving from the barrel and, sharing with us. But what would you say, your top 3 cocktails here in the tasting room are right now?
I mean, everybody that comes in here, you have to get a Manhattan. This product makes an amazing, we call it the signature Manhattan or the Monongahela Manhattan.
Ooh.
These make a beautiful Manhattan and a beautiful old fashioned. So those are our top 2.
Okay.
Because that's with our cask strength. They make, you just feel like you're going back with the Rat Pack when you drink those.
Real, oh, nice.
So you're not a big cocktail guy, but you.
No, I like my Manhattans. Remember, I don't like old fashions, but I like Manhattans.
Yeah. Well, you like the one old fashioned that Eric made for you.
Eric made,
we'll
Sam
make you
made.
one with this after we're here. It's delicious. And then we do what we call a whiskey mule.
Okay.
And that's a great summer drink. And we use the 90 of that, so tones it down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then another thing we do, it's pretty fun. You tasted that rye shine right off the still.
Yeah.
We do what we call a moonshine margarita. So it's our
moonshine margarita.
Yeah, it's our rye shine that we sell in little pint bottles. It's called Posted. It's kind of a play off of our Ponfeigh Hunting Cabin brand. And so it's a margarita. It's delicious. You really can't taste the rye shine too much in those. And then those are the top 4. Those are probably our 4 top sellers right now. And we just try to keep it simple here. So someone, when you go to a restaurant, you see 45 things on it, and you don't know what to order. It's just, and you see a nice small menu. Small menus.
I love the small menu.
Bartenders go gray really quick when they have 40 drinks on it.
And also, I noticed too, especially with the bartenders or what do they want to be called now? The mixologists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you got that smaller menu, they know how to make those drinks.
Yes. Yeah.
And they come out perfect every time. It's quality. Yeah, 100% quality.
Yeah. We had a soft opening here, and it took us a while to get some of the drinks out, and our great staff is learning where we put everything and stuff. Yeah. But everyone here said the drinks were top notch.
Well, at the end of the day, that's what you come here for.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I mean, I'm not coming here for a bag of Cheez-Its.
No.
Yeah.
I'm coming here for the whiskey.
Right.
And I think everybody is really forgiving on openings, right? As you get your rhythm and rhythm and flow, and great whiskey makes up for a lot of that. I mean, when you have a good drink, a lot is forgiven. I was impressed. We were we sat there out there with you in pre-production, and you were thieving from the barrels. Mm-hmm. And there are some cool concepts. Can you share those, or are those trade secrets right now?
No, they're not trade secrets.
I mean, I would make a trade secret.
No, they're fun. They're fun. So we tasted. We first started with what I call Ginski. So it's it's London dry gin aged in our used dry barrels from this juice, and so we're pulling the juniper down. So I like gins that I'm not being a beaver and chewing on the pine tree.
Yeah,
I just want to smell it after somebody cut it.
Well,
does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then we add that rye spice in there, and it makes a delicious cocktail gin.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I'm not a big gin drinker at all. I actually usually that's my least favorite.
It usually is mine
spirit.
Too. Yeah.
Because it's so dry, and I feel like I'm dying of thirst after I have a gin.
That was delicious.
That gin, like it there was something about it.
It had a whiskey tail to it.
It had a whiskey tail to it, but it had that like taste to it. It was like, wow, this is good.
Yeah,
really good.
I drink it on a large cube.
Okay,
and that's why I call it Ginski, because I don't need anything else. With
no.
I mean, I toss some blue cheese olives in there, but I like.
Honestly, it would make a good martini.
It would.
It would make a good gin martini. Another thing we were aging is we're doing Virgin Islands rum in the same rye barrel as well, and that is making a unique product. It's not ready yet, but it's coming. It's very buttery. It's very sweet, but it needs more spice, so it needs more time in there. It's like our version of a spiced rum, but it's not from a new barrel or from the rum spice. It's from the rye spice, and we make it very unique. So that could take 6 more months. We don't know. We just know from our experimentation that it's good. And then of course what I call reindeer rye, but our production manager won't allow me to put that on the bottle because it tastes like Christmas. It's our Amburana rye, and it is delicious.
It
because
really is.
Our regular juice is so good, it makes it a unique product that literally, I have to have this bottle by September because that's going to be a holiday seller. It's amazing, and it's something that I learned from my friends at RD1. They're a great.
They have a great Amburana.
They have a great Amburana. I think it's a bourbon, right?
It is.
And I was like, well, we can do this with rye, and we experimented with it, and it just blew up. I mean, it's amazing. So those are the 3 things, and I think that's enough for now. Because I got to pay for those bottles.
It was cool to see the creativity go on right in front of us, and I think it lends to authenticity. It lends to the spur of the moment, how you come about doing stuff. Next thing you know, Brendan's jumping up there and he's dumping in, right in front of us. You guys are communicating. You kind of seizing the initiative. Yeah. This would be good. Let's try this.
We're good at that. We're a great team, and we have different palates and different ideas, and we're both open to each other's opinions, and we come from different aspects of the industry. So he's a long-time distiller. He's made some of the craziest stuff. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good. But he's
over there like, what?
I know.
It's like everything I make is good.
No, not everything
I've touches magic.
Not everything I've made is good. It is what it is, and that's the fun of it. And one of my favorite things, just like we did with you guys. Here at Ponfeigh, I do 99% of the tours because this is your baby. This is my baby.
Your baby. Yeah.
I have the passion, but this is my favorite part. I love talking to people. I love sharing everything that's going on. I love teaching people about whiskey. I love getting the thieving out the barrels and stuff like that. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. Well, it was comforting, if you will, when we walked in. You were in the middle of taking a business call, and Brendan, took us and put us in the back, and right away you're greeted with 3 distillery dogs, which I love. I love when you have a distillery cat or a distillery dog, right? There's something about that connection with our 4-legged friends that And they're running around.
They are. They're fighting back there. They're wrestling, as they say.
What was the one's name's whiskey, right?
One's whiskey, one's rye, and I'm babysitting one of my friend's dogs. His name's Reggie. But they're all working dogs. They're all hunting dogs, and we pheasant hunt. There's game lands every here, so we're fortunate to since we open at 12. I can sneak out to those pheasant woods.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
So originally you had offered us, just extremely gracious, and thank you, to stay the night in the Ponfeigh cabin. Can you tell us about this, the Ponfeigh cabin? I was trying to tell Dan, I'm like, he's got a cabin. It's like historic, and it means like, I don't know, in a story. I didn't know what it really meant, but I just thought it was really interesting.
I mean, it's the whole message and name and code of the brand, if you will. When my great-great-grandfather and great-grandfather were trying to start a dairy farm in this fertile valley, they had a Scottish immigrant with them. And when he came into that valley when they were building a barn, he screamed Ponfeigh. And for 90 years, we thought that meant beautiful, wonderful, amazing. And, but on the edge of this valley is the Ponfeigh hunting cabin that my parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents have taken up, learning about the spirits. But that's what they would go to hunt, fish, but the family gatherings. And that's where we would enjoy spirits out of the public eye. And, that's where families would get together and learn about family culture in the code of Ponfeigh. And fast forward, 90 years of hunting and fishing with our friends there and stuff, we realized that Mr. McDowell was from Ponfeigh, Scotland. And Ponfeigh, Scotland, what Ponfeigh means is stag's watering place. So this hunting cabin for 90 years was a stag's watering place, and we didn't even know that it was aptly named that. So obviously that had to be our brand.
That is, so that's really cool, man. I like that. Story. Yeah.
So what, because since we're on the subject, I mean, right there, that's a beautiful label, beautiful logo you have. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? Because every time I look at it, I catch a little bit more in that logo.
Right. So this is a logo we used on the farm in our hunting cabin for many years, and you see that the mountains underneath the logo.
Right.
The Celtic, font, Celtic / Scottish font because of where it came from, Mr. McDowell. And then the infinity symbol because we want it to be forever a place where people can gather, but also we want it to be forever a part of everybody's family, something that they bring, just like Jameson is part of everybody's family, or different brands. We want to exude the code of Ponfeigh of traditions. And what we like to say at Ponfeigh is our favorite spirit is tradition. Because we have all these traditions down at Ponfeigh, which, some of them are funny, some of them are crazy. For instance, if you miss a deer, you have to, there's a big ceremony and you have to put your hands on the mantle, and it's always the youngest hunter of that day gets to cut your shirt tail. And you have to tell the story of how you missed the deer or the turkey or the bear, and then you write on it and you pound it up on the wall.
Oh, I love that.
So I mean, there's traditions after traditions after traditions.
You'd have no shirt left, Dan.
Probably. The last two seasons, probably.
Yeah, so that's what the infinity symbol is. We want those traditions to continue, and then obviously that infinity symbol turns into a rye plant, and that's where the whiskey brand comes into, and eventually we want to become a full estate distillery. I couldn't invest into that. I raise bison. There's one of my bison on the wall right there. He's got an orange comb over. I raise bison on the farm, and then we have hay. We do hay on the farm. And then off the farm and near the farm, there's a couple farm pieces. We do have corn that we're growing for our Maryland style rye. Right. So that's what you tasted there. Yeah. That was from the Ponfeigh farm, which is kind of fun for me. Yeah. But being an estate distillery is one of my overarching dreams, and that's sort of a new up and coming thing if you've been paying attention to that.
No, it is, and it's it's authentic. It's authentic. It's hard to do, I think.
What?
To be an estate distiller.
Oh yeah.
You really have
acreage.
Yeah, you need land, you need money, you need capital, or right. It's a big gamble. But I mean, the payoff is that it's yours, and it's all one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'll be brilliant. I mean, when it happens, when you're completely there, it's gonna be a talk.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we will. I mean, our acreage is not what could probably support our capacity, but we would like to dedicate, some batches at least to it.
Yeah.
This is, Ponfeigh full and through. But, we support all the local farmers as well. We get our rye locally from a lovely farm, the Doug Show family farms. They make a great rye. They don't pound it with fertilizer. They allow that terroir to come through.
Nice.
We don't get the yields they do, out west and Midwest. I mean, we get half or almost a third of the yields because we don't want to artificially grow that rye. We want all the soil to be in those in that seed.
Yeah.
Well,
it's worth it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd rather have a great bottle of whiskey every once in a while than an average bottle of whiskey all the time.
Well,
I mean, and
cheers.
Yeah, 100%. This is, I love the bottle. I love the bottle when I got it. Now that I hear the story on the label. And the logo.
In the logo. But what's really fun about this is, and I'll demonstrate. So it is a tradition. We're all about the traditions, okay?
Yeah.
And I've been teaching all the bartenders this, and I need to do a reel on this. But when you kill a bottle,
okay,
the bartender is supposed to go like this and put it on their shirt.
I got a patch.
Yeah, and that's the tradition. You killed the bottle, you get the patch, and you're now a brand representative because you killed the bottle. And that patch was the patch that we used at our hunting camp for 40 years, and we sewed it on our hats and stuff, and it was
nice.
And perfect for a distiller's shirt.
Yeah.
Pop around a distiller's shirt. I mean, I love. Look, we're military.
Yeah.
So we're patch and shoe guys.
Exactly. And what's funny about that?
Bottle,
what's funny about that patch is, so I'm going to different, when I'm trying to decide on the bottle at all these different, trade shows, I would take this patch around. They're like, you can't do that.
Oh, watch me.
I love it when people tell me I can't do anything.
So it's interesting because Craig, who's a part of the Bullits Bourbon crew, he was telling me, he's like, I got a bottle of Ponfeigh, but I got the one with the felt on it. And I'm like, Craig, how much have you had to drink? What are you talking about felt?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, it's got felt on it. I'm like, no, it doesn't have felt on it. And then when we walked in, I was like, son of a bitch, there's fucking felt on that bottle. Now I'm the asshole. But Craig, you're wrong. This isn't felt.
It's not felt.
It's a patch, bro.
It is a patch.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's a patch.
That's Army for you, though. Cat.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
It's velvet. There's velvet on it. What is this velvet?
Yeah. If it was our other great member, Ty, he would have just been like, where's the green crayons? Because he's a Marine.
Okay.
So God bless him.
Mm-hmm.
That is ingenious. So one of the cool things, I think, one of the things I do is when I kill a bottle off, and beautiful bottles are hard to get rid of.
Mm.
I always keep the caps. I've got a couple Corona buckets full of whiskey bottle caps. One, it kind of lets me know if I need to start enrolling in Alcoholics Anonymous. Mm-hmm. Two, you never know when a bottle's going to go bad. Like the bottle top's going to go bad. And it's a memento. This is ingenious though, because I can take this off and slap it right on my bar back. Boom.
On your bar back?
Yeah. I've been to bars.
Don't do it. I know where you're going with this.
What's going on?
Well, they got he's still stuck in the Hawk Tui girl.
Oh, God. What an internet sensation. Everybody's talking about it.
I love it. I love the fact
even
that
has swag you can buy on the internet.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
It's just crazy how
viral
instantly.
Yeah.
But I mean, isn't that how it works? Though?
It is.
I mean, you cannot. I mean, marketing for Ponfeigh. Mm-hmm. You have got to enter into the realm of social media.
Oh, we have.
I mean, it's almost impossible. I see your posts. I think they're great.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
But you cannot survive if you're not on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever.
TikTok and
it's the modern day newspaper.
Yeah,
it's the modern day newspaper.
People don't look up at a phone book where you're at.
No,
they usually go to Facebook and they Google it, or Google it, and they go take me there.
Right.
That's the way it works. I mean, and word of mouth is super important. You know, I would say that, you know, I would not have heard of this place without word of mouth.
Well, you know, I mean, the folks at Bourbon Pursuit, and you know, Fred Minnick and the like, you know, they just did a episode on marketing, and you know, they talked about a lot of data and stuff, and they said you can spend all the money you want on billboards, you can spend all your money on social media, which you know does tick the the needle a little bit. You can spend all your money on posters and stuff, but there is nothing more effective than liquid to lips. Nothing.
No. Yeah. 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's beautiful about this, and you know, it gets me literally warm and fuzzy when I taste it, but warm and fuzzy when I think about it, is I am so proud of this whiskey. I am so proud of how it turned out.
Yeah.
And I have, unless they're a Pinot Grigio or Miller Lite only drinker, you know, and I'm like, what are you doing in a distillery?
Yeah.
They're like, well, I don't like whiskey. I'm like, sir, ma'am, you're in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
But here you go. I know that you cannot not appreciate this unique character in the sweetness, but also the finish. It's, you know, and maybe they're not a cast strength person, but still the 90 proof, which you guys already enjoyed, it captures their soul too.
The 90 proof checks the boxes.
It does.
This one destroys the boxes.
But the cast strength, I'm still, that cast strength had so much flavor packed into it. And
we're gonna drink a Manhattan afterwards.
But it doesn't hurt like a cast strength does.
No, it didn't have a large hug.
No,
it had the initial.
I like the hug on it.
It had the initial hug.
Overhug, but yeah.
Like it had the initial hug, but it wasn't a hug that was like, oh wow, like I got to slow down.
But this barrel particularly, the Founders, this is the Founders Reserve, right?
Yeah.
You're calling that?
You can only buy that here.
Yeah. Is that's a phenomenal bottle. I would pair that bottle up with. I mean, my problem with bottles like these, and I've said it before on the show, is that I weep when they get down to here because I know
then
it's
you
coming.
Buy a case. Simple solution.
His wife's not here, so that might happen.
Uh-huh. We need to buy an extra bottle of this, and what we need to do is we need to put this up on Patreon. We get them to sign it, and
they're all signed,
and somebody can win it. What do you think?
Just raffle it off.
That's a good idea.
And this is what I call exporting liquid wonder.
Yeah.
You know,
that's actually a good idea.
And they ship. So, you know, I mean, you're not going to be able to get this bottle, or you come to PA, man up, you know, take a little road trip. We're not far away from Pittsburgh. There's major airports. There's a turnpike. It's, you know, it's easy.
There's tourist attractions all around.
No, you got Laurel Caverns not too far away.
Flight 93 if you want to get sad.
Yeah, you can come up here and
get sad. We were actually talking about that on the way up.
You should go visit it. It's amazing, but it gets you sad.
The area is beautiful. Yeah. We passed through the drive we took all back roads just because I have something inherently against paying the turnpike any money.
It just brings you back to
it does. Old town
Pennsylvania. Not even in Pennsylvania, but old town America. Like you go through these little communities, you know, probably 20, 30 miles away. It brought me back to my childhood. That's what it did for me.
Yeah. Well, it's fun too to see the different restaurants and stuff like that.
That's where you get the good food.
Yeah,
those non-commercial mom and pop done restaurants.
Yeah. So you got this beautiful space out here talking about food because damn man, you started me off. I'm hungry now. Food trucks.
You do.
Yeah,
food trucks.
I was going to say that's a beautiful area to do.
We have food trucks. They pull under that. Timber frame structure, you know, and everybody has the porch. They can come in the tasting room. We have food trucks every Saturday and Sunday, and then we also have DoorDash tablets for delivery. So there's 27 restaurants, and you can order on the tablet, you know, from 27 restaurants, and it's here in 12 minutes, which is kind of very unique.
Yeah, that's
for a brewery distillery.
So,
you know,
do you got to go to? Locally here?
Oh yeah, I'm a sucker for this cauliflower crust sandwich at Best Way Pizza.
Best Way Pizza.
It's a cauliflower. It's a cauliflower crust for pizza, folded with like a steak and cheese in the middle of it. It's so delicious. I am addicted to it.
I've got steak and cheese.
Yeah. What'd you say?
That's going to be a real. Yeah. He said steak and cheese. I was like, yeah.
Oh, his face lit up.
Do you want me to DoorDash you one right now? It'll be here in 12 minutes.
I don't know. That sounds delicious.
Okay.
We're going to have to check out the local eatery scene on the way back to Pittsburgh. I mean, what a great, amazing place. I can't thank you enough for hosting us and having us out here and just, I mean, the passion for your brand, for this distillery, incredible. It's always nice when it's genuine. And, you know, I can tell you love doing this. I can tell you working your ass off. And but you get it from the staff too. You know, Brendan just, you know, dived right in, knows his science behind this stuff. I think that is just really cool and patient. And whenever people talk about it and they get excited talking about it, that says a lot about their level of commitment into what they're doing. And I'm super impressed. I wish we lived a little bit closer.
I do.
You know what I mean? I would love to.
Well, you're like I said, you're always invited to crash at the Ponfeigh cabin. It sleeps 12.
Yeah. Here we go.
So there's bunks, you know, like all my friends do when they come into town. They just land on one.
Yeah.
What we need to do, we need to call them up during hunting season.
Yeah,
that's what we need to do.
Yeah, so
why? So you can get your shirt tail cut off?
I would probably get my shirt tail cut off.
Look at that. Look at that beautiful cocktail.
Look at their signature Manhattan. This is the drink that Brendan, our wonderful bartender, thank you, Brendan, that makes these. This is what is cheers.
Cheers.
These are. It's all about the quality of the bitters, the quality of the vermouth, but also most importantly the quality of the cherries.
Oh my.
That's a Manhattan.
That is a Manhattan.
That's ridiculous.
That is really, really good.
Bravo.
Cheers.
Way to go.
Yeah.
That is good.
Listen, I'm a straight guy too.
Both ways.
Both ways. I'm straight. My bourbon and other things, but if you're gonna make a cocktail with this, that's it right there.
You know, that's a perfect balance between being sweet but retaining that rye taste to it. Well, where it's not sugar, it's more. It kind of brings out the element of the whiskey.
Right. And remember, the Manhattan and Old Fashioned was made for rye whiskey. It wasn't a bourbon drink.
Correct.
You know. So I mean,
and that's been.
I love my bourbon friends out there. Yep. Don't get all freaked out, but this is what goes into Manhattan.
Yep. Well, I was telling you this earlier. I was a bourbon guy. Actually, I was a Jack guy.
We're all whiskey guys.
Yeah, right? I love whiskey. Period. I'm into peated scotches.
Oh boy,
you know, I've gone down. I've gone way down the hole. Yeah, that's courtesy of Ellen and Jim that got me into that, and the Boggers United who are in Pittsburgh. But rye was not my thing growing up, and it wasn't until I came to Pennsylvania. And there is this culture and this heritage and this love of really good rye. And now, dare I say it, somebody's going to stone me, but rye has become my favorite spirit.
No.
You know,
you remember, rye was the predominant spirit before Prohibition. Yeah. And so I don't think we'll ever take that back, but we're growing 4% a year as a class. And so, you know, we keep on wanting to.
But there's nothing wrong with loving rye and loving bourbon and loving scotch at the same time.
I love them all.
The love of whiskey,
correct?
You know, is really, like we talk about all the time. You know, the greatest thing about whiskey is who you're enjoying it with, who you're sipping it with. You know, whiskey is better than it's better with friends.
You know,
exactly. It's
not about the bourbon.
Right.
It's about who you share it with.
Yeah. You know, and
our favorite, like I said, our favorite spirit is tradition, and it's the same principle.
Yeah. You know, with that said, we can't thank you enough, Maximilian. This has been absolutely wonderful.
Appreciate
I can't
you
wait.
Here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you for stopping
we
by.
will be back.
Thank you.
And you know, as always, but first, follow, and look for their link below. This will take you to the website. You're also going to see it in everything that Dan posts because I don't touch that bullshit. I don't have time for it.
Yeah, you'll see it in the reels. So if you see a reel, make sure you click on the link.
But Ponfeigh Distillery in Somerset, PA. Do not mess around and miss out on this excellent whiskey. Buy all of it. just buy all of it. Just it's easier when you do it like that. That way you got options. You're not
come on in. I'll give you a tour. Love to meet you.
Yeah, if you're in the local area, come check them out. It's an easy drive. Look, we're coming all the way from South Hills, PA. Yeah. So it was an hour and 30 minutes.
Right off the turnpike.
Right off the turnpike. Easy to get here. Great restaurants. Go day hiking. Get drunk. Come here.
Go fishing.
Fishing.
Kayaking.
Enjoy it. Yeah. Year round. This is a great place to come to. Come check them out. As always, stay thirsty, my friends. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thanks. So.
That is delicious.
Isn't it?
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.